Welcome to Zaddy Economics, the business of love. You're at the lounge in Lekki on a Friday night, and the air is thick with expensive perfume and low hum of generators. You see her, maybe 22, dressed in a kind of outfit that costs more than your monthly rent. Scrolling through her phone, iPhone Pro Max 15 or whatever. Then he walks in. He's in his late 50s, wearing a simple but obviously expensive kaftan, a heavy gold watch on his wrist. He doesn't just walk, he arrives. He nods at her, she smiles, and they settle in a corner booth. Your brain does the quick math. You look at them and you think you know the story. You whisper the labels sugar daddy, aristo, side chick, gold digger. But if I told you that what you're seeing isn't just about love or lust or even just money? What if I told you that in that corner booth, you're looking at a complex financial transaction, a social safety net, and the ghost of Nigeria's failed economy all rolled into one? The question isn't what is happening. We all see it. The real question is, what thing they really happen? The Instagram life versus Sapa reality. To understand this country, you have to understand that we're living in two Nigerias at the same time. At this point, I don't know how many Nigerias there are, but based on this story, we live in two Nigerias at the same time. First, there's Instagram Nigeria. This is a country you see on your timeline. It's a land of soft life, bottomless brunch, vacations in Santorini, and brand new G-Wagons. In this Nigeria, everyone is a CEO, an influencer, or an entrepreneur. The currency here isn't the naira, it's aspiration. It's the pressure to have arrived, even if you haven't left the bus stop. Then there's the Sapa Nigeria. This is a country most of us actually live in. This is the Nigeria of 33% youth unemployment, the Nigeria where inflation has turned your salary into pocket money. Sapa isn't just being broke, it's a spiritual level of poverty. It's that feeling when you check your bank account and it looks like a phone number with the first 9 digits missing. Now, the relationship between a young woman and a much older, wealthier man is often the unofficial high-risk bridge between these two Nigerias. It's the visa you get when the official embassy of the economy has rejected your application. I will show you how there are levels. Let's break it down. So, how does this bridge actually work? Well, there are levels to this thing. Level 1, the economics of soft life. Let's be clear. For many young women, this is not a hobby, it's a job. In a country with no student loans, all that thought. Looks like there is now student loan, and I will do a whole story on that soon. But for the purpose of the sweetness of this story, we maintain that in a country with no student loan, no social security, and few entry-level jobs, the big man is not just a boyfriend. He is a one-man government. He is a scholarship board that pays the school fees. He is a smeden that provides the capital for small businesses. He is a landlord who sorts out the rent for the apartment in a good neighborhood. This isn't a fringe activity. Studies from Nigerian universities show that up to 29% of students admit to being involved in transactional sex. That's nearly 1 in 3 students. University, meant to be a place of learning, has become a marketplace where the unwritten curriculum is survival. He is, in essence, a human venture capitalist. I'm talking about the man. He invests in a person, and the return on investment is youth, companionship, and of course, status. It's a brutal, unwritten contract. She gets to cross the bridge from Sapa Nigeria to Instagram Nigeria, and he gets to build an extension on his ego. Level 2, the cultural scaffolding. Now, you might think this is some new, shocking trend, but it's not. It's as old as Nigeria itself. We just gave it a new name and put it on Snapchat. The data shows that Nigeria is a global outlier when it comes to spousal age gaps. The average age gap between a husband and a wife is 9 years. In the North, it can be as high as 13 years. To put that in perspective, in the US and Europe, it's just over 2 years. Our average is closer to countries like Gambia or the Guinea. But even then, we are at the extreme end of a regional trend. So the sight of an older man with a much younger woman is already baked into our cultural wallpaper. It's not an exception, it's an extension of the norm. Our traditional systems, including polygyny, have always created a romantic market where older established men have a massive advantage. We live in a patriarchy on steroids, where a man's power is often measured by his wealth and the number of dependents he can support. This whole aristoculture isn't a bug in a system, it's a feature. It'd be like when your Mercedes has self-parking feature, it can park itself. Now part of the overall package. The midlife upgrade, that's level 3. The midlife upgrade fantasy. So we've talked about status, but what else is the big man getting out of this? Let's call it the midlife crisis dividend. For many of these men, their marriages have settled into a comfortable but often boring routine. The spark is gone, replaced by the logistics of school fees and family meetings. The young woman represents an escape. She's not just a partner, she's a time machine. She brings a burst of youthful energy, a connection to a world of pop culture, slang, and vitality that he has long since left behind. Being with her makes him feel younger, more agile, more relevant. It's a psychological boost, a way to feel like he's still in the game. This isn't about love in the traditional sense. It's about chasing the ghost of his own youth. It's an emotional transaction where he pays for the feeling of being desired and vibrant again. Level 4, the global Zaddy franchise. And before we start thinking this is some uniquely Nigerian wahala, let's be clear, this is a global franchise. The sugar daddy is not a Nigerian invention. We just give him a local chieftaincy title. From Nollywood to Silicon Valley, the story is the same. You see tech billionaires, actors, rock stars well into their 60s and 70s with partners young enough to be their granddaughters. The only difference is the scale of the money and the accent. It's a universal privilege of a certain class of wealthy, powerful men. What this tells us is that the core dynamic isn't about culture, it's about power. Extreme wealth creates its own culture, its own rules. In Nigeria, that power is amplified by our economic desperation and patriarchal norms. But the fundamental desire for powerful men to seek out young, beautiful women is a worldwide phenomenon. It's not a Nigerian problem. It's a feature of global capitalism and patriarchy. Level 5, beyond the bank alert. But hold on, is it only about the money for the women? Is every young woman in this relationship just a reluctant accountant calculating her next move? The real story is a bit more complicated. Listen to this. There's a psychological pull that goes beyond the bank alert. Many young women talk about a preference for the maturity and stability an older man brings. They're tired of the games, the inconsistency, the waterway conversations, talking stage with their age mates who are also struggling to find their feet. An older man often knows what he wants. There's a calmness, a been there, done that energy that can feel like a safe harbor in the storm of your early 20s. Let's be honest, sometimes it's a father figure dynamic. In a society where many have complicated relationships with their own fathers, a kind, providing older man can feel an emotional void. He's not just a benefactor, he's a mentor, a protector. The lines get blurry. The financial support becomes intertwined with emotional support, and it's hard to tell where one ends and the other begins. It's a transaction, yes, but the currency isn't always cash. Sometimes it's security. Level 6, the unseen cast. But this drama has more than 2 actors. What about the other people in this story? That's the wife at home. She's often trapped, enduring the humiliation because her own economic survival is tied to the man. She is a victim of the same system, just with a marriage certificate. And there's a young Nigerian man, the guy who's trying to survive in Sapa, Nigeria. He's priced out of the dating market that has become hyper-transactional. He can't compete. This creates a generation of frustrated young men who either become cynical about relationships or are pushed to acquire wealth by any means necessary to even get a seat at the table. So why? Why is this system so entrenched? Is it because young women are greedy or because older men are predatory? Those are easy answers. The real answer is deeper. Listen to this. This is what happens when the social contract fails. The social contract is a written deal between the citizens and the state. We pay taxes, we obey laws, and in return, the state is supposed to provide basic security, infrastructure, and opportunities. But in Nigeria, that contract has been shredded for decades. When the government fails to provide a functioning educational system, a stable economy, or a reliable path to a career, people don't just give up. They create their own parallel systems to survive. The relationship between young women and older men is one of those systems. It's a private, informal, and often dangerous social safety net created in the vacuum left by a failing state. It's not about individual moral failure. It's about a collective, systemic failure that has turned dating into a survival strategy. So the next time you're in the lounge and you see the couple in the corner, look past the easy labels. You're not just seeing a sugar daddy and a side chick. You're seeing the brutal logic of a broken economy. You're seeing the collision of social media aspiration and real-world desperation. You're seeing the unwritten rules of a game where the government is a referee that left the stadium 40 years ago. And when you see all of that, you will finally understand this country. So, besides this video you're watching, you can also read a quick article version of today's topic, or swipe through our blazing Instagram carousel that breaks it down in seconds. If you want more, we built an interactive web analysis so you can explore the facts and numbers yourself. And if you're really ready to go deep, every Newsense episode comes from extensive research, the kind that could take you days to dig through on your own. We've even made the full PDFs available for you to download, all on our website, popcentraltv.com. I'm Yinka, Obebe, and I do this every day. Catch Newsense on Popcentral DStv 189 and follow us on YouTube, Popcentral TV, TikTok, Instagram, X, and more to get more vibes and more insights. Explore the stories, dive into the data, and keep the conversations going. You have something you want me to explain? Say it to me, and I'll try my best. Stay sharp.
Just so you know, this is for information only and not advice. Some details or policies might have changed by the time you're watching this.